Hey everybody, my name is Ronnie. I'm from A Teacher's Wonderland and you're watching Teacher's Wonderland's YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that, sorry, I'm on my phone and it's just totally different today. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and hit that little bell so that you can be notified every time that I release a new video, which is pretty much every Tuesday and Thursday. So let's get started. You ready? Okay. I love this book, probably because it's just so beautiful. Like, it's stunning, okay? It is called Moth versus Butterfly. I love the pictures in this book. I mean, just look how cute that moon is, right? Like, isn't it the cutest? Wait, can you see it? There we go. Here's our little butterflies and our moth. This book is great for definitely more of a fiction book. I would definitely say that it belongs in that fiction world. However, it does have some cute little nonfiction blurbs. Nothing crazy. So I definitely wouldn't use this like in a science lesson or anything like that. But it is definitely helpful for kind of touching on it. So let's talk about this book. This book is written by Dev Petty, and the illustration, Anna Aranda. I have to say, one of the reasons why I love this book so much is because of the illustrations. I just think they're so cute. Can you see them? There we go. They're so adorable. The writing in this book is really fantastic as well. But the pictures are just amazing. So as we go through this is the picture book highlights. So we're going to talk about just the different things that you can do with this book. And I love using this book in my science lessons, but I mainly love using this book for compare and contrast. So I'm actually going to use my my book talk here, and I'm going to use my lesson plan. So I have them all written right here for us, so we're ready to go. Just keep in mind that you're going to see the little one. Just toddles. Okay. Anyway, so the skill that I would say definitely is in and found in this book would be compare and contrast. You're comparing the moth to the butterfly the entire time. And it's in the title, Moth versus Butterfly. There's definitely no negative here, so that's really good. Some of the themes that I found in this book is just, I know I'm saying I'm so sorry. I never do that. Sorry. Some of the things that I that I use in this book was definitely the being yourself and accepting who you are, because that was so big with our moth and our butterfly, to understand that it's okay to be who you are and be different. Be who you are and enjoy your life. Some vocabulary words that I found in this book, and some of them I think I pulled. I mean, they're all in the book, but I definitely wanted to add some extra little pieces in there. Lush, metamorphosis, beige, graceful, and antenna. The settings from this book specifically really didn't have a setting. It wasn't like a specific place, like, the mall. So I just said it was really the flowers or the trees or the outdoors. So let's talk about the SEL components, okay? Because that's like, my bread and butter. Some SEL components that we found in here. Moths and butterflies are very different from each other. The book shows us how different they are, but they also are so happy with who they are. So I want to recognize the strengths that make us different and us also very, very strong as individuals. So I use this to focus on my students' strengths and my students' things that they need help with. So focus on that with your students. If you are interested in doing a cross-curricular, which, I mean, that's like my favorite thing to do. If you are interested in doing cross-curricular, that's super simple and easy to do, because you can implement this, there we go, in science. And what you're doing is you will actually, you can go and find caterpillars if you have milkweed, which we have a ton of it here in South Florida. So we're able to kind of get our little caterpillars. Or you can order them from a website called Insect. INSECT lore, LORE.com. I love insect lore. We've ordered many painted ladies from there, and that's just the type of butterfly. Down here in South Florida, we have a lot of monarchs. I also live in the butterfly capital of the world, so it's really easy for us to get butterflies, and it's not a challenge for some. Sometimes it is in other places. So I love being able to bring the butterflies and the caterpillars into my classroom and show them to my students where they start off as caterpillar, how they go through the change, how even their cocoon changes as well. And then you will end up getting your butterfly, and then you can release them. And so the students love doing that. I also one time teamed up with my entire team of 5th grade, and we were talking about the complete and incomplete metamorphosis. And I had one teacher order praying mantis, and he had those guys. And then another teacher had ladybugs, and I had butterflies. So it was kind of cool to see the differences. And my kids, every morning before the bell rang, they were able to go and look in all the other classrooms. So that's really, really fun. Ordering them is just fantastic. My goal for this book was to have the students compare and contrast 2 creatures or objects based on this book. And of course, the lesson was compare and contrast. So let's talk about some writing activities that you can actually use in your classroom, because I'm sure that's something you're thinking about as you're watching this video. So my 3 activities that I did with my students for writing was I grouped them in 2 to 4 students per group. I gave each student 3 to 5 construction paper, and then I showed them how to cut vertically. And then I had them cut about 1 inch. So it was like 1 paper, and that was it. And then what they did was we made a paper chain to compare and contrast. What happened? Oh, she needs help. Hold on. You're welcome. To compare and contrast, or to summarize the moth versus butterfly. Another one we did is that we see a lot of moths and butterflies when we are outside. So what do the characters remind you of? Did the moth remind you of any special memories that maybe you have? Did the butterfly remind you of any special memories? And what connections can you make with the moth or the butterfly? And I also had the students write a journal entry as if they just met the moth and the butterfly. And that's kind of like, everyone say hi. That's also kind of what I did here was I allowed them to read the book as if it you wanna join in? There you go. I know. You're so cute. What creature did you connect with? What creature would you want to be? Which I always think is really fun to just kind of like talk to my kids. Like, what would you do? Which one would you want to be? Why did you choose that creature? What would your day look like? And how did it go when you met a moth or when you met a butterfly? So I'm going to show you guys some awesome pictures. I'm going to present. So weird to like say presenting. Okay, here we go. All right, so one of the things that I did with my students was I put these little vocab cards, and they also, you can put them on like big sentence strips, or you can have them do to define them, whatever you want. So I have them do these puzzle pieces. We do this almost every single week, so the kids are very well aware of this. One side is going to be a picture to remind them of it, and then the next side is going to be the definition. So I have all the words here. The kids cut them up, and then they're able to go and challenge their friends. Here is the anchor chart that I use in my classroom for compare and contrast. Where are you going? Okay, I guess she's going right here. For compare and contrast, this is the anchor chart that I use, and I'm able to actually show to my students like the key words, the symbols, and different little pieces in there. Beginning of the book, I always have my students predict, or if it's a nonfiction book, I will have them do a KWL. So it's either way that you want to do this, but that's my predict paper. Here's the other version of the vocab. So I don't know if you can see, but it kind of has like a little, kind of like a Frayer model, except I just kind of changed it. So I said the definition, give me an example, give me an ask and answer. So ask me a question about this, and I'm going to answer it using this question. And then I also have them draw a picture. I really believe that they need to have some type of doodle. I also will have the students identify the main idea within the book. And I could do that with the ice cream cones, which has been taught in previous lessons with my students. So that's also helpful. And then, of course, we have the awesome Venn diagram of compare and contrast. Look, she's working. My awesome compare and contrast guide. Whoops. We went too far. There we go. And then you have right here exactly what I use in my book, or I'm sorry, in my unit. So I have my writing paper. On the far left, you'll see the lesson plans, which I already showed you guys. On the far right, which is the vertical version, the vertical version is the student's worksheets. And then there's also, of course, like a reading response that we have. And then I have the book talk, which I showed you guys as well, and the writing. Whoa, I don't know why I did that. Maybe she hit something, sorry. So those are just the different activities that I use in my classroom when I'm teaching moth versus butterfly, and I'm also teaching compare and contrast. I hope this was helpful for you guys, because we are just at 11 minutes, and you guys, if you are a current follower or you follow quite often, you know I like to keep it under 15 minutes. So that's it for today.